Hi folks, welcome back to the channel and to the workshop. Today's little escapade is going to be a clock. I'm going to make the clock, it's for Mrs. Twirler, for her studio, and she's always hankered after a pencil clock. So I've got lots of little coloured pencils, and I'm going to try and work out how I'm going to do this to produce a clock made of coloured pencils. So we'll see how that gets on, shall we? Right, I've never worked with pencils before. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but what I want to do is maintain as much of the pencils as I possibly can, which is obviously not going to be completely going to happen, because we're going round a circle and the pencils are in a straight line, so they're going to have to be trimmed, but I want them to look like they're sort of still pencils rather than spin a load off and end up with just coloured lead or whatever happens to be in it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them onto a plywood backing, glue them all on. I shall make an external frame, and then I shall fill it with epoxy. That's the idea anyway, and we'll see how it gets on. Now what I want to do is do it in quadrants, with one set of pencils going there on this quadrant. If you can see, I've drawn a circle on there, which is the diameter of the clock. So I'm going to have this quadrant here with pencils going like that, this quadrant here with pencils going like that, this quadrant here with pencils going like that, and then pencils going like that. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. Only one way to find out. I could use yellow pencils for the 12, 3, 6 and 9 positions. Right, there we have it. That's the. I've got a couple of bits wrong, which doesn't really surprise me. Mixing up the colours, but now I've got them all in the right place. Everything's ended where it's supposed to end, and that's it now. I'm going to wait for the glue to go off so I can trim all the ends and then sort out what I'm going to do with the rest of it. Marvellous. Catch you later. Right, that's roughly got what we got so far. And all the pencils are stuck on. I've just got to stick on the final ones, but I'm going to wait till I've got the outer ring made for that. I've roughly cut it out on the bandsaw. Next job will to be drill the hole, mount it in the lathe and just spin it off so it's round. But the next job is the external frame, and that's going to be a segmented piece, 12 segments, and at the join of each segment will be a separate piece of thin timber to demark the hours, etc. So we'll get on with sorting out the frame. Right, I thought I'd quickly show you how I'm cutting the segments out. I drew on a bit of paper how I wanted it and worked out the lengths and the widths, etc. And that's how I've got the sled set up and the stop. Right, that's basically it. All I've got to do now is make the insert out of, I've got some very thin strip here, so that will all be glued in between the inserts, and that's it, job done. Right, start the old gluey up process. Looks like it's supposed to be there. Right, I'm going to put some masking tape around the outside, only to stop too much glue getting onto the strap. He says. Right. Can't do anything more now until all that's gone off. I can get that on a face plate or something, put it in the lathe, get it all cleaned up, get the rebate cut for the panel, get the outside diameter done. But basically it's going to be something like that. That nice mahogany rim. Yeah, and that's it. So, can't do much more till the glue's gone off, so I'll get back to you in a while. Right, I've got it on a screw chuck at the moment, and I'm just about to radius off the plywood edge. Hopefully I don't catch any of the pencils, and hopefully they don't come flying off and stab me in the chest. Now all we've got to do is wait for the glue to dry on the ring and we can start sorting it out. Right, well it's I've radiused the outside, cleaned off the face, and I've done the rebate for the clock face. I'm just going to take that a little bit deeper. Just make sure there's plenty of room for the epoxy. Yep. That's pretty much it. I shall get that glued in. All we've got to do then is clean up the back edge. I can thin it down quite a lot. But that is roughly what it will look like. And the yellow ones will match up with the 12, 6, 3 and 9, hopefully. So there we go for a minute or two. Right, here we go. That's I did a pouring of resin. I haven't videoed any of that because obviously pouring resin is pouring resin. I've drilled the hole right the way through so I can mount it back up on the screw chuck so I can clean up these surfaces, the transitions. I've got to take out a central section here, make it round so I can do a final filling in piece there. I've also got to take down the thickness of it by 10 or 12 millimeters and do a final bit of shaping. So that's what's up next. One more. Right, that will do. So the next job is to take it off there, set it back down flat, cut the little bits to fit in there, and then glue them in, epoxy them in, and then hopefully we can get the finishing off. Back to you in a bit. Right, it's all I didn't video pouring the epoxy in there because obviously, yeah, you know what that's like. I've now got to smooth this out so it's all at the right level. I've put it back on the worm screw and it's a little bit out, so I'm going to have to trim the lot really, which I'll do. And hopefully I'll get it rubbed down, cut and polished, all that stuff. Right, well I've rubbed it down as much as I can with all the magic green pads. I'm now going to get some Polar Shine 10 on it, give it a cut and a polish, and then I'll get some really fine cutting compound on it, which has got a bit of carnauba wax in it, so that'll help to shine it up a little bit. For the minute we'll just use the Polar Shine 10. There we go, not too bad. Let's get the other stuff and put that on. This other stuff I'm using in liquid diamond is contains carnauba wax, so I've got to apply it and then let it go off for a couple of minutes, not for too long, just enough to, and it's an exceptionally fine mild abrasive, so it threatens to take out any swirly lines or marks, which that fortunately doesn't seem to have at the moment, and I'm sure this will pick him up if there is any. Let's see what's going on here then. Right, that's pretty good, that. I'll leave it at that for a minute. Right, here we go, all done, or as much as I can do anyway. I'm going to give it all a coat of Wood Wax 22. And there we go. Right, the only job's left now, I've got to put the mechanism in, I've got to take it off and sort the back out, and that can be done on the bench with a bit of sanding, so that's not too much of a problem. Right, well, it's time to put the mechanism together now. We've got the actual ticky-tocky bit. There's a couple of bits and pieces of sticking the ticky-tock bit on the clock, and we've got some fingers. So basically what appears to happen is that goes over there like so, hanger. Yeah, let's bring it a bit closer. And there's a rubber washer, and that pops through the back like so. You might even be able to see it in there. A little brass washer and a little nut. goes on there. Like so. I should have took the plastic off first, actually. And that one goes on there like so. And the second sleepy hand just pops in the middle. And says that's it for now. That's the pencil clock. Thanks very much for watching. It's been an interesting little project, this. Never worked with pencils before. Might do a few more, you never know. But anyway, once again big thank you to all my subscribers, all the old ones and the new ones, and any ones that are coming on board at the moment. Your subscriptions are more than welcome, and thank you very much for that. And look forward to doing something for you in the future. Thanks very much for now. Bye.